in 100 years' time, none of this is gonna matter, right? In 100 years' time, all of this is just gonna be space dust and ashes, yeah? I'm in Bangkok right now, there's people walking around, I'm sweating my absolute tits off. There's a part of me that didn't want to get on camera today. There's a part of me that was feeling apprehensive. Oh, I don't feel my most charismatic version of myself. But what I do is I mentally attend my own funeral. I imagine what it's like to no longer be here. I call it liberated nihilism, okay? So nihilism is the belief that nothing matters. Liberated nihilism is recognizing nothing matters in the most liberating way possible. How to speak to women with elite level charisma. So if you know who I am, my name's Christian, and I help dateable men remove their social block so they can stop feeling like closet heterosexual, because this is what I found to be true. Most men today, they don't have dating problems. They've got personal problems that affect their dating lives. So you might be watching this video and you know you are dateable. You know you are a straight man and you find women attractive. But the problem is you are in the closet. You're in the closet of heterosexuality. You probably think it's wrong in some way to walk outside, to approach women, to deliver the value that you built to the world. And what I found to be true with all of the dateable, successful, career-driven men who I've worked with is guys don't just work with me because they want to improve their dating lives. Guys work with me because they want to become better communicators, right? They want to become elite level communicators. They want to develop elite level charisma. So rather than seeing women and thinking too many steps ahead and experiencing failure in advance, rather than missing out on opportunities because they're in their heads and they're judging themselves, they want to be able to just walk over into these opportunities without the fear, without the self-judgment, without the hesitation. So what I want to do in this video is I want to walk you through how to develop elite level charisma, specifically with women, but this can be applied to anything. It could be applied to building your business, making a personal brand online, making better social connections. So for me, first of all, Socrates said the beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. So I think before we go deep into how to actually develop elite level charisma, we need to define what charisma actually is. So the way that I define charisma is the transfer of grace under pressure, okay? The transfer of grace under pressure. So for me, being charismatic it's about being able to transfer certainty, to transfer a certain emotional state when you're in a conversation. Specifically, when you're in a conversation with a beautiful woman and you think everyone's looking at you, you've got this fear of public judgment, you feel as though the pressure is on to perform. How do you transfer certainty? How do you transfer these positive emotional states onto the people who you're talking to? So for me, first of all, the first thing to develop elite level charisma is to attend your own funeral, all right? Attend your own funeral. Because for me, so many people today are sleepwalking their way through life. Yeah, they care too much about what other people think of them. But the reframe that I've always had is, in 100 years' time, none of this is gonna matter, right? In 100 years' time, all of this is just gonna be space dust and ashes, yeah? I'm in Bangkok right now, there's people walking around, I'm sweating my absolute tits off. There's a part of me that didn't want to get on camera today. There's a part of me that was feeling apprehensive. Oh, I don't feel my most charismatic version of myself. But what I do is I mentally attend my own funeral. I imagine what it's like to no longer be here. I call it liberated nihilism, okay? So nihilism is the belief that nothing matters. Liberated nihilism is recognizing nothing matters in the most liberating way possible, okay? So when you are in your head and you're thinking, oh shit, I don't want to walk over to that woman today because I might run out of things to say. It might get awkward. I might come across as a closet heterosexual. You might be scared of losing value in the eyes of a woman. Remind yourself everything is forgettable. Remind yourself in 100 years none of this will matter. In 100 seconds none of this will matter. Everything is forgettable. Like if you walk outside today, this is what I do with my clients. Whenever I'm working one-on-one with my clients and a client is in person with me, and let's say he's really apprehensive, he's really nervous to do those first approaches, what I will say is, bro, what color were that woman's shoes who just walked past us? And he'll look at me blankly, he'll be like, I've got no idea. I'm like, yeah, you've got no idea. That's how forgettable everything is. So if you want to become more charismatic, first of all, you need to embrace your own mortality. You need to recognize that in 100 years, none of this is going to matter. Something even more practical that you can do if you want to be more charismatic, especially when you're speaking with women, is to shut the fuck up, okay? Be quiet. Let the silence do the work. So when I'm working with my guys, especially guys who I'm working with one-on-one, I will mic them up with invisible wireless microphones, which means I can listen into their conversations and I can give them real-time personalized feedback. And what I found to be true with all the guys who I've worked with is every guy talks way too fast. Yeah, so you might have had this yourself. You might have approached a woman and it almost felt like it wasn't even you in that conversation. You might have found that you were talking too fast. You were giving off this nervous energy. You felt like a closet heterosexual. But a lot of guys, they are unaware of their own speech because they don't know what they don't know. I remember a few years back, I worked with a surgeon in London, right? So he's called Gordon. And out of everybody that I've ever worked with, he spoke the fastest. But the fucked up thing was, he didn't even realize it, right? He didn't even realize he was talking fast. So after micing him up and giving him real-time feedback, I was like, dude, your conversations are decent, but fuck me, you are talking way too fast. So what I want you to do in the next conversation you have is slow down. When a woman says something to you, just mentally count to 2 before you say anything else, because when it comes to developing charisma and speaking in a more charismatic way, you want to start allowing the silence to do the work. This is how you build tension with a woman, right? It's not when you're talking super fast and super erratic. I'm talking fast now because I want to deliver this value in as condensed a time period as possible. But when I was first learning daytime approach, my conversations with women were shit. I was giving off these gay best friend vibes. Women were not perceiving me as a serious romantic option. And the reason why this was happening is because I was giving off nervous energy, right? This is the reason why I got coached with Cold Approach 6 months after I started, because I needed somebody to give me no bullshit feedback. I wanted to be held accountable, and I also wanted to have a personalized, structured way of improving the art of daytime Cold Approach. So what I would say to you, if you're not doing this already, is before you do any more approaches, start recording the audio of your conversations, right? Because a lot of guys, they are taking action, but the action that they're taking is shit. And then usually what happens is they solidify bad habits. It's almost like going to the gym and practicing bad form. So before you do any more approaches, I want you to set the intention to start recording the audio of your conversations and listen to the speed of your speech, okay? Because too many guys today, they're talking too fast, and it makes them come across as nervous, as uncharismatic, as unsure of themselves. Another thing, if you want to speak to women with more charisma, elite level charisma, is to start doing daytime approaching, okay? If you're not already doing this, what I say to all my guys is you want to do at least 100 daytime approaches, because for me, daytime approach is the most aggressive form of self-development. By putting yourself out there, you're not just improving your dating life, you are improving your communication skills. You're learning how to transfer grace under pressure, because when you're out on the streets and it's just you and your own anxious thoughts, you'll have so many self-limiting beliefs that are going through your head. You'll think to yourself, oh, this is weird. Everyone's watching. Maybe I should wait for a better moment. You might be scared of talking too loud and inviting the social spotlight. Even as we're making this video, there's people looking, there's people who are observing what we're doing. But because I've been in this social game now for over 15 years, I was a magician for a decade from 13 years old, I understand now, to be more charismatic, it's about inviting the social spotlight. And this is why so many men today are living dating lives like closet heterosexuals. It's because they're scared of what other people think. They're scared of public embarrassment. They're scared of humiliation. They're scared of, oh, what are these NPCs gonna think of me? And this is why you need to start approaching women sober during the daytime. You need to put 100 reps on the board, because otherwise you're gonna see this thing, you're gonna see approaching women as this make or break situation. You're gonna be up in your head, you're gonna be rejecting yourself on behalf of the women, and you're gonna live a dating life of mediocrity. And if you're anything like the guys who I work with, you know you are a dateable guy, and you probably see guys every single day who are nowhere near your level, and you're looking at them and you're looking at the women that they're dating, you're thinking, bro, how has this guy got her? These guys, they're nowhere near your level. They're no richer, smarter, better looking than you. The reason why these guys have got the women who should have been yours is because they had the balls to walk over and transfer grace under pressure. They had the balls to walk over and say hello. And this is why, if you want to develop elite level charisma, you need to develop elite level cold approach skills, right? It's not enough to just go out there, give a few compliments, oh, the approaches didn't go so well, I'm gonna give up now. 100 daytime approaches. And what I say to most guys is the easiest thing to do is block 7 days in your schedule, or take a week off work, Aim to do 15 daytime approaches every single day for 7 days. By the end of those 7 days, you've done 105 daytime approaches. You've now had a social renaissance week. Congratulations, you're no longer a closet heterosexual, and you can then transfer this certainty, this conviction, this charisma into every other area of your life. But when it comes to developing elite level confidence, charisma, communication skill, the final thing I'll say to you is when you are approaching women and you wanna come across as more charismatic, assume attraction before you approach. Right? One of my mantras is treat your entire life like it's foreplay. Right? Approach every woman as though you're already romantically connected. Because imagine you see a girl today who you've already connected with. Imagine you see a girl today who's already your girlfriend. Imagine the way you would walk over to that girl. You would assume attraction, you would assume arousal. You wouldn't see it as a make or break opportunity. You wouldn't see it as, oh, she might reject me. What if this goes bad? What if people see me being rejected? Assuming attraction is a cheat code for charisma. Treat your entire life like it's foreplay. Always be warming up. This is the final thing I'll say to you. Always be warming up, right? And not enough guys today are talking with enough people on a daily basis, right? So as soon as you leave your house in the morning, just get your vocal cords firing, make eye contact with people, say good morning. If you go into a cafe, make eye contact, ask the barista how their day's going. Another exercise that I would get you to do as well is every single day, record videos of yourself in public, right? So obviously we're making this video out in public today, and there's always a part of me that doesn't want to do it. There's always a part of me that fears a social spotlight. But the problem with a lot of guys today, especially guys who are dateable, but they don't feel as though they've got the necessary charisma to get the women that they want, they're not talking enough. They're not getting their vocal cords firing on a daily basis. So what I've done is I put together another video that's just appeared on screen. I explained to you why mastering the art of yapping will allow you to attract higher quality women.